Welcome to a code report solution video. In this video, we're going to be covering the solution to a weekly LeetCode problem entitled Minimum Average of Smallest and Largest Elements in 4 different programming languages, a few Python solutions, 1 C++ solution, and then we're going to live code it in BQN and Uiua. So the problem states you're given an array of integers called nums, and you want to repeatedly take the minimum element and then the maximum element, remove those from the list, add them together, divide by 2, so you calculate the average, throw that in a list called averages, and you repeatedly do this until you have no more elements. You're guaranteed that you've got an even number of elements, and I think the maximum value of any of these integers is going to be 50, and you're then asked what is the minimum average you're going to come across. So pretty straightforward problem. We're given this test case 783.4.15.13.4.1. If we take a look at one of the ways we could solve this, the way that we're going to do this is we are going to first sort our values. Then we are going to chop the list into 2 halves, the first half and the second half. We're going to reverse one of the halves. In this example, we're reversing the second half. And then we have basically our pairs of numbers, 1 and 15, 3, 13, 4, 8, 4, 7. You then add these together, calculate the minimum, and divide that by 2, and you have your minimum average. Pretty straightforward. Let us go pretty quickly through the Python solutions because there are a few of them. Then we're going to look at one C++ solution and we'll get to the live coding. So our first Python solution, pretty straightforward. Calculate the length of our list, which is going to be n. Sort our elements, integers, call that s. Then we're going to have a local res, which we initialize to 100 because if we know our maximum value is 50, the maximum of any 2 of these values is going to be 100. Then we've got a for loop where basically we're going to index in to get the largest and the smallest and keep updating the minimum, which is going to be stored in res. And then at the end of the day, just divide that by 2. So we can make this slightly nicer by making use of zip. We then divide our n by 2. And we can use slicing to get the first half and the second half pretty cutely with :n and -n:. The : -1 is a way to reverse our list for the second half. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but this is the shortest. And then we don't need to worry about the indexing. But what's really nice about this is now that we don't have any indices, we can actually throw this into a function called min and use a generator expression, which I prefer because then we don't need to have the local res. So we're calculating the minimum of this generator expression and then dividing that by 2. But now that we have this, we can actually take this one step further and avoid our zip and just make a call to the variadic map and use the add from the operator module. Pretty nice. So this is basically where we end up. If you want, if you think that last line is a bit noisy, you can pull that out, call them L and R for left and right. But this is basically where we end up in Python. So very quickly, the C++ solution, somewhat similar. First call is to the ranges sort algorithm to sort our values, and then we can do everything else in an algorithm called transform reduce. We're basically zipping together the first and second half using the first 3 iterators. And note that the third iterator is a reverse iterator starting from the back of the list. That's basically how we do the zipping. And then we are going to add the elements together with a std plus. And then the reduction part of our algorithm is going to be using the min. And at the end of the day, we divide it by 2.0, which is going to return us a floating point number in the form of a double. Pretty awesome. Python, C++. Now let's hop over to BQN pad to solve this live. All right, here we are in BQN pad, our favorite BQN web editor. And let's solve this in the same way that we solved the Python solution. So the first thing we want to do is we want to store inside n half of our length. So our length is the not equal to, and half is just going to be 2 division with the C combinator to flip the order. And then we've got half of our length. Next thing we want to do is in S, store the sorted array. And that's it, single character, pretty fantastic. And now the next thing we want to do is something a little bit different. We want to use both take and drop in order to get each of the halves of our array, sorted array. And so the way we're going to do this is we are going to use a fork. So this is basically make pair or couple And this is take, this is drop. And so we're going to make use of the dyadic fork, and so we're going to make use of the dyadic fork, aka the phi1 combinator. And we're going to put n on the left to be our left argument, and then we're going to put s on the right to be our right argument. So basically what this ends up doing is saying take for and drop for, and then make pair, which gives us our 2 halves, which is pretty cute. This is very beautiful in my opinion. And if we compose reverse with our drop, we now get the reversed second half. And then we can replace our make pair with plus, and then we're basically done. We just need to get our minimum, which we're going to do with a min reduction. And then once again, we want to do our half, which is a 2 division with the C combinator, aka flip or swap. And this is basically the equivalent of our Python solution. However, we're not going to leave this as it is, because obviously we want this to be tacit, which is going to be easier than you might think. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to pull out the 2 division C combinator or swap and put this in a function called h. We're borrowing the name from jelly, because in jelly, h is half. And we're actually going to use the bind operator to make this half, because I think it looks nicer and is more readable. And now we can replace the 2 different occurrences of half in our solution with h. And the next thing we're going to do is we can basically get rid of s, because we don't need it. We can just sort our argument, our double struck x. And you'll also notice that n actually only ever shows up once as well. So we can just copy and paste this, delete this, and then in parentheses, so this evaluates correctly, we can do that. And we're still going to clean this up a little bit. And you might notice what we can do here. This is our very common pattern. So we've got a binary operation here, a unary operation here, and then also we can parenthesize this to make this a little more clear, a unary operation here as well. So this is famously the phi combinator, aka a monadic fork. So we can pull out this double struck x, and we're going to need to put all of this in parentheses to get it to evaluate correctly. And now once we've done this, we can start deleting a bunch of parentheses. So we can delete this. We can save a character here by using the B combinator in operator form instead of the toTrain. And pretty fantastic, pretty fantastic. And to make this fully tacit now, all we need to do is delete our braces, our double struck x. We can actually also delete these parentheses, not that one, this one, and then this brace. And this is not going to parse correctly, because what do we have here? We have a monadic fork here, which evaluates to a unary operation. This is a unary operation, and this is a unary operation. So in order to get a sequence of 3 unary operations, we need to put the break in between the second and third unary operation, because otherwise it's going to try and form a monadic fork out of this. So this is going to be B combinator, which forms a unary operation. And now with the break, this is going to be another unary operation. Pretty fantastic, pretty beautiful, folks. We love BQN. We love the phi combinators, phi1, the monadic and dyadic fork. Whew. All right, last but not least, let's hop over to Uiua and solve this quickly there. All right, here we are in Uiua pad. We've got the same structure as we had in BQN, h for half, which we can implement in literally half a second, div2, because we have prefix functions for both our monadic and dyadic functions. And then we want to implement min average. So first thing we want to do is sort. There's no sort primitive in Uiua, at least for now. So we just do a select, rise, duplicate, and that sorts. Then we want to do a length, and we want to do a duplicate to keep our list on it. And then we want to do a half, and we want to do a take. And we then want to duplicate again our sorted list. And then if we do a on length, that will perform length on our 4-element list. Keep that 4-element list on the stack, but then evaluate length, which gives us 4. And then we can do a dip drop to get us our 2 halves. And now we can just reverse our first half, which is slightly different, but it doesn't matter which half you reverse, as long as you reverse one of them. And then if we just do a plus, it'll add the 2, and then we can do a min reduce, which gives us our minimum value, and then we just do a half again. So pretty awesome. I think I like BQN Solution better because of the take drop dyadic fork is a little bit more beautiful, but this is pretty awesome as well. So this brings us to the end of the video. BQN, Uiua, Python, C++, or some other language. Let me know which one was your favorite. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.